we're doing the interview today standing up, and Coach Vernon, he's like 6'6". I'm like 5'6" on a good day, so he's trying to sit down for me. But anyways, Coach, wasn't the greatest offensive performance starting out, but you closed the game on a 17-7 run. Talk about that final run to end the game.
Well, I think first you go to – I told our guys, I think this is the hardest game of the year. The first game is the most anticipated, but we've been practicing for 30 days, and we've got stuff in place. This day, we've had 3 days of practice after taking 14 days off. So our conditioning's not where it needs to be. We've got some pieces out. We're rusty. So I think you saw a lot of that today, but we continued to grind. We continued to do some good things, and we finally got to where we made some layups and knocked some shots down, and that's the stuff that we were missing in the first half. So I think it's a really good win. I think Miami Hamilton, a lot of times people hear the name and you look at their past years and some of the scores, they've got a very nice team. Coach Payne has done a really good job, and he's got 3 or 4 really good players on that team. You
talk about Miami Hamilton. They're a run and gun team. They don't run a lot of offense, if any offense. They run up and down the court. How hard is it for your offense to see that, or for your defense to see that and then kind of fall into that, especially coming after Christmas break?
Well, it's tough, and what's even more difficult is, we had 2 game films on them, and that was from November 6th and November 9th.
So you don't have much.
We had nothing. Everything was finding box scores online, but film, we were very, very low. So we knew by averages of what we had through about 8 box scores, who their main guys were, but when it comes to what kind of continuity they run, we were coming in blind. So we knew that Cook and Rizreal were very good players, and they proved it. We had to do a better job of taking care of the ball. And second half, we gave up 9 offensive rebounds. But I thought we got better as the game went on defensively. And then, like I said, offensively, we got in a better groove. We got to where we did some more dribble handback stuff instead of watching like we did in the first half. And that created our offensive getting an advantage at the rim.
You talk about defensively. I get a note from Corbin Harris, the second most steals of the season for your defense. So that's obviously a good point coming back from the Christmas break. The defense was pretty solid for the most part.
It was, and a lot of that was our defense. We were active. We did a little something different today on ball screens, which we'll continue to look at and see if we like. And I think that did. And then you look at overall, they really let us play today. The officiating was just very lax, as in it was a physical game, and you have to be able to adjust. And with all the rule changes, you never know going into the game what kind of rhythm you can get. And today we could have gotten a more rhythm, but the lack of foul calls changed things. But we figured that out second half and became more aggressive defensively, so that helped us obviously.
Tavion Mason, 25 points, a new career high for him. Obviously, when he gets the ball in his hands and he can get in the lane, he's very deadly.
He is, I'm going to say. There's things that you don't try to change too much of a player. There's times he goes to the rim. I wish he had just finished on the same side instead of going to the opposite side. But he's not the only one. Today I looked back and I only thought he took 1 bad shot. Yeah. He was 3 of 5 or 2 of 5 or 3 of 5 from 3 of 5. 3 of 5, and he took 1 really quick 3. The other 3 he missed was late in the shot clock, about 6 feet behind the line, so that wasn't good. But 3 of 4 if you take away that heave that he had to take, and late in the game, he made a couple moves late in the shot clock, and he was by our bench, and I told him, I said, don't settle to the rim. And, man, he blows by him. And whenever he has that mentality, because of his speed, he's very hard to guard.
You talk about some other guys that you've had in the past. Jacob King hadn't had his best season yet. I mean, he's playing hard. He's playing a lot, but he's getting others involved. Today he had a new career high in rebounds, had a matched his career high or season high in assists with 7 rebounds, 6 assists. He's not scoring right now, but he's getting others involved. What is it that Jake needs to do offensively to continue helping getting others involved, but also get the ball in the hoop?
Well, I think you saw today, the only, I don't really look at, the shots missed much. He had a few too many turnovers, but he's so hard on himself. I just wish he would relax a little bit and play. And the shooting for me, I see the work that he puts in. He puts in extra time all the time. He's going to get out of this slump whenever it happens. We've seen him for the last 2 years shoot mid-40s or higher from 3, and he's going to get out of that slump. He just has to make sure he's taking the right shots. And today, especially second half, he made some really good decisions with the ball, some really good hit-aheads that we got in transition, which we've been talking about as a group. And whenever, we have some deficiencies of Tuck being out, Big Dre was out, we had to play smaller, so we had to get out and run the lanes a lot better. And I thought we did pretty good with that today.
Also, David Simmons was gone today due to a sickness, I believe is what Rusty said.
David, he's back home. Poor guy. He's been sick since Christmas Eve, just trying to get over it and really fighting that right now. And the second practice back, Tucker went down with a foot injury. We're hoping to have him back by conference next week, and Dre will be back really soon.
Okay, so you have those 3 guys that are out. two of the three are really key pieces, obviously starters.
Yeah.
At some point in the season, who are the guys that have to step up in those guys' absence?
Well, I think you saw some things today. I think Sam Lining's been stepping up all the time as the year's gone on, and he didn't have as many points today, but Sam's just that guy that you can rely on. He's going to get things done. He didn't shoot it as well today, missed some really good looks. But I think with our team, you got guys. I think Richie Mitchell's gotten better and better as the year's gone on, and me and Richie, we didn't butt heads early in the year, but the way he wanted to play and the way I wanted him and needed him to play, we weren't meshing. And I give him a lot of credit because he fought a lot of adversity going into senior year, and he's continued to work, and I think you see a lot of things changing for him. He came back, I thought, after Christmas about as good a shape as anybody and had as many good practices as anybody. He tweaked an ankle late. I think he'll be good for tomorrow. But I think you just got to have a collective group of guys, and our practices have been very good since we've come back. I think we won't be as rusty tomorrow. We're going to be tired, but we got to be able to fight through fatigue, and then we'll get back in the gym. But I think we have enough depth and talent as we continue to work that you'll see some guys step up. I thought Max Reyes was good today. He had 12 points, and take away one or two where he gets so isolated and locked in tunnel vision. Take away that, I thought he was very good today as well.
Lastly, you talk about just meshing with players as a coaching staff. Obviously, the first semester usually you have to deal with that, and then they get into conference play, and a lot of times that's usually fixed moving into conference play. You see it all the time at any level of college athletics. How tough is that for you as a coaching staff, you and Mark and Darius?
It's tough every year. This year's been a lot more difficult. It reminds me a lot of my first year. We had 4 guys returning and like 10 new guys. Well, this year's the same way. 4 guys returning, we have 9 new guys. So everybody getting on the same page is difficult. Everybody comes in with the way they think they're going to play, and we have to sort of scale them back a little bit. I think we've gradually gotten better. I think we still have a long way to go, and we've got a very short time to fix that. But if we'll continue to work like we have been the last few days, I like the progress we've made.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jordan.